Hey everybody, we're back again. This is video 3. Last video we got our app flashing lights at us, and we also can press buttons and see the lights flash. So let's actually, for this video, I'm going to delete these. For this video, let's see if we can get a sequence of lights flashing. Okay, so I'm going to try to go nice and quick on this one. I don't have a whole lot of time, so if it feels rushed, I apologize. Do have to get out of here pretty soon, but I wanted to squeeze in one last video. So let's do this, okay? So what we're going to do is let's predefine a sequence. In the end, I don't think this is what we're going to use. A predefined sequence isn't what we're going to use, but let's make a test. A var sequence, okay? So let's make a list of what we need to do is I need to assign numbers. It's going to be really easy and more helpful, I think, to assign numbers to these buttons, okay? So I'm just going to count. This will be button 0, this will be button 1, this will be button 2, this will be button 3. So I'm just going to write that up here just for myself. So green is 0, red is 1, yellow is 2, and blue is 3. Okay? So when I have a sequence, I'm going to collect a sequence of numbers, and I'm just going to kind of choose them randomly. Those numbers between 0. And I'm just going to kind of like, oops, not 4. 4 won't work. And so there we go. So I'm basically just between square brackets. Okay, between square brackets, I have a bunch of letters separated by commas. Okay, so that looks like I have like nine buttons in there. Let's make it around 10. There we go. So I don't know who hasn't gotten enough love. Maybe blue. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write a function called flash sequence. Function. Flash sequence, and right now I think I'm just gonna have it flash all 10. Okay, and maybe by the end of the video we can have this system where it's like a number of rounds, and that'll be more interesting. But let's go ahead and write a sequence that a function that flashes the sequence of lights. So what we're gonna need is a for loop. Okay, for var I. So you'll have a block for this if you would prefer. So we're going to have a var I equals 0. I is less than, I don't know, for now let's say 10. Okay, how about that? And I plus plus. Okay. Now I would hate to leave anybody behind who has never seen a for loop before. If you've already seen a for loop and you know how they work, skip 30 seconds or so. For everybody else, I would like to briefly explain what's going to happen with what this signature up here means. We're going to have a little counter variable, and it's going to be responsible for asking where we are in the sequence. This is spot number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And notice all those numbers are less than 10. So basically we're going to let the counter grow up to be as big as 9. Since we're starting on 0, it gets to 9. And after every time that this block of code will execute, I will increment by 1. I++ simply means go to the next number. So if I is 2, it'll be 3 next. If it's 3, it'll be 4 next, and so on. I++ is just shorthand for go up by 1. Okay? So this block of code in here will execute 10 times. Okay? So what is it that we want to execute 10 times? What we need really is I'm going to store a variable called the current light, I guess. The current light will be whatever is in the sequence at I. Okay? So can you imagine this? So I guess like when the loop begins, I is 0. So what's the sequence at 0? What's in spot number 0? Well, it's this number. It's 0. I'm actually going to, just for fun, just to make it more clear, I'm going to change this so it's not confusing. In spot number 0 is 2. Okay, so the current light is 2, and we know that 2 means yellow, so basically it means that we're talking about yellow. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually, okay, what we want to do then is I'm going to have some if statements. If the current light is equal to, I'm going to use a triple equals for 0 because JavaScript is weird like that. Triple equals, so if the current light is 0, I want to flash green. Does this make sense? Flash green. Okay, so if the current light is 0, I'm going to flash green. Can you guys copy this like, let's see, 4 times? If the current light is 1, 2, and 3, And the weird thing about JavaScript is use two equal signs to check equality. Unless you're talking about 0, then use 3 equal signs. Now that kind of gets into the nitty-gritty of JavaScript that like no one is really interested in yet. So if the current light is 1, we would like to not flash green. We want to flash red. So we're really building off of that functionality, that bottom-up functionality that we had earlier. And so it's really nice. We don't have to like think about how these lights flash anymore. We just get to ask them to flash. Okay? So this is going to be cool. So what we're going to do is, if we test this, this should flash in this order. 2, 3, 2. So I guess that's what? Yellow, blue, yellow, red, green. So like that. So let's see if this does anything. Okay, nothing yet. And can you guess why? We haven't called the function flash sequence. Okay. So let's actually, somewhere in here, let's call flash sequence. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. And there we go. We get the sequence now flashing. Okay? So that's not always, the way it's going to go is not always going to be like all rounds all the time, is it? Okay? I don't think that's going to be the way it works. So how much time do we have here? Not much. So let's see how quickly we can make this happen. Okay? Let's actually, let's have one more variable. Okay, so after on the very first time you start the game, you're on round number 1. After you get one question right, you'll be on round number 2, and so on. So it would be nice to have that round number. Round number. So you'll begin on round 1. So I would actually only want to see the amount of lights on whatever round number we're in. So if we're in round number 1, I should only see 1 light flash at me. If I'm in round number 5, I should see 5 lights flash at me, and so on, right? So I don't want this to run up until less than 10. I actually want it to run up to less than round number now. So check this out. So if round number is 1, then I is 0. Is 0 less than 1? Yes, it is. So then I get to go in and execute this, and I get to execute the first light. Then I will become 1 after that light is over. So is 1 less than 1? No, it's not. So then it exits the for loop. So essentially, the round number kind of caps, or it tells you how many lights that you're about to see, right? So if my round number was 5, I would see 5 lights. So let's see if this actually makes sense here. So if I have round number 1, I do only see 1 light, and that's good. Okay, do my buttons still press? They do. Okay. How about round number 7? I should see 7 lights now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's it. Okay, so this is actually a functionality that we're going to be able to build off of later. Okay, so what's boring about this right now is that the sequence is predetermined, and we will have to kind of build a randomizer, and it's going to be kind of fun. And we'll actually make the game so that you can go as long as you want. Some people may want to end their game at 10, or 20. If you get 20 lights in a row, then you win. In the next video, we'll talk about how to randomize the sequence and maybe how to deal with user input. Okay, so hopefully this video has been helpful. This is about flashing the sequence. We didn't add too much here in this video, but it's going to be a really nice. We're actually going to add a lot. There's going to be a lot more to do here. A lot more to do here. Okay, so we're going to build into this function a couple of other functionalities. We're going to have to update the round number and do all kinds of stuff. We'll come back and fix that up. For now, I think I'm going to go have Memorial Day weekend and pick up with this series either later on in the weekend at night or next week. I hope this has gotten you started and motivated. And have a great weekend, everybody. I will talk to you soon. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Bye.